Okay. So what I have here is the term paper sign-up sheets. So I sent an email out last night and trying to get you guys start to work on the term paper. Case study 3 has been graded, and it will be actually the grades are actually going to be uploaded soon. So keep an eye on that. And I also noticed there's 2 students actually missed the exam number 3, test number 3. I did sort of like mess up with the deadlines, so I did give you guys a 1-day extension on that. I'm not sure why the other 2 students don't really pick that up, but if you have issues and you need to communicate with me, please email me after this meeting. But let's get back to the term paper thing. So in Blackboard, as you notice, we had a new item show up on the DBI core curriculum, which is actually between April 17th and May the 10th, which is the rest of semester. We'll have about 3 weeks, a little more than 3 weeks, to complete this paper. Okay, so I'm not sure how many of you actually has ever written a research paper, but we're gonna give it a shot. Okay, so what this form is about is ask you to go through the 4 topics I chose to ask you guys to write a paper on, and identify a co-author. Okay, and I also asked several questions in regard to your preparation for conducting research and write a research article. So what I'm asking you to do is, before you submit the form, please, take a look at the form, talk to one potential co-author with you, and make sure that both of you had a mutual understanding that you two is going to work on this paper. So you can provide your name there, choose a topic. We have 4 topics here, which I'm going to elaborate a little bit more afterwards, and indicate your co-author's full name. Basically, I'll see, you add your co-author's name there, and your co-author is going to add your name here. And I did ask you some questions in regard to your previous experience with research articles, right? So I was asking you, have you ever done any scholarly research before? Do you know the basic structure of a research paper? Do you know what is plagiarism? And have you ever heard about, human subject research and the institutional review board? And it indicate some of the stuff you have done before, such as, interview people, being interviewed by others, take online surveys, create online surveys, use online databases, search Google Scholars for scholarly publications, etc., etc. The reason being I'm asking those questions is trying to understand where are you at, right? So if you haven't really, had any experience in terms of writing a paper, so then this assignment might be a challenge for you. So that tell me I probably have to, talk to you more often. So that's the reason we have this form here. And I did also provide, like general guidelines in regard to what I'm expecting from your paper. Okay, so you have couple of line items there. For some reason, there was a misspell here. But anyway, I'll get that corrected. But there's some guidelines for writing a research paper for publication. So if you click on that little link there, there's actually a short paper itself. Okay, the paper itself kind of explains what do we expect to write a paper, right? So you heard about those stuff, scholarly publication. What does that even mean, right? So how does a scholarly publication differ from the regular article you read from newspapers and magazines and all the other resources, right? Well, major because it has its own format, of course. So you'll read, they're actually going to give you some explanation on what is a research article, what kind of parts does it actually have, right? Those type of things. Okay, so it's a really short article. It's only like 4 pages with a couple of pages kind of explaining who the authors are. But anyway, so go back to this. I did ask you to fulfill those requirements. First, I have to follow the common structure of the research paper. You need to have a title, intro, background, methods, data collection, and the results, findings, conclusion, references, etc. Okay. Second, you have to show evidence of originality, which means it's really something from you. Okay, I don't really want to, be able to find an identical article online, which means you just cut and paste to your Word document and call that a paper. That's not a paper, right? Third, you have to demonstrate critical thinking built upon literature, which meaning when you actually draw some conclusion and make a statement, you need to show people where does it come from, right? Where does that come from? If you say, design build is definitely better than design bit build because it saves money and, saves time, et cetera, et cetera. But you got to tell me, okay, where does that conclusion come from? You say, well, there's an article written by this author published in this journal saying that, design build, is more advantageous compared with design bit build because of this and that, right? So you need to have evidence, basically. Then you have to showcase good writing skills, including grammar, writing styles, and consistent arguments and sound methods, etc. Which meaning when you actually write an article, it has to have, certain quality, right? Your writing style is okay, and your grammar is definitely polished, and you had a consistent arguments there. You show some data, etc. Okay, and proofread your paper. What you can do is when we're actually going to ask you to write this paper together with your co-author using Google Docs. So what does that mean is once you create the Google Docs and start to writing this paper, and please invite me as one of the viewers or actually maybe editors, whatever, so I can see your progress all the time. And if you have questions, post questions there, and I can answer your questions and actually go over your paper directly. So pretty much like, I'm going to help you walk through the process, okay, from day one. So because if we wait until the last day of submission, that's going to be too late to do anything, right? So once you started to identify your co-author and you start to write about this paper, then please add me to your shared documents. So that way I actually see where you're at, how well are you progressing, and what kind of comments do I have, what kind of question do you have, right? Okay. I did attach a paper, okay? That is a paper. Well, the reason being asking you to do this is I find it's actually extremely, interesting or maybe even beneficial for undergraduate students to try to write a research article. You never know what kind of potential do you have, right? So I worked with undergraduate interior design students before. That was actually 3 years ago. We did some research on aging in place housing, and we actually wrote an article and published in the international conference there. So the paper I attached here is the paper we wrote together, right? So basically, this is a paper where we talk about something, use of building information modeling in aging in place projects, a proof of concept. Okay, the time we did the research and wrote this article, Emily was actually a junior student, just like exactly where you guys are at today, right? Junior students, basically, junior, senior status. So we wrote those 8-page, this is an 8-page paper. It's a pretty serious paper, right? Okay, it is actually published in Computing and Civil Engineering International Conference in LA. And we did actually go there and present results as well. This paper actually was selected as one of the candidates for the base paper of that year, although we don't really get the base paper, but I think we're like top 3 in that track. So which is really amazing to me. I think, with undergraduate students involved in research article, research activities, and you are able to actually publish, and this will go with your resume forever, okay? So I would think this is something interesting to you guys and maybe actually even beneficial just in case somebody is going to pursue graduate level study. Maybe you want to do masters, okay? So publication, if you have publication on your resume, it definitely helps you in terms of your application to graduate school, okay? So now, let me go over this a little bit quick in terms of our topics. So I know we are talking about exclusively design build in this class. The 4 topics I chose, of course, has to do with design build. But I want to really focus on, a specific aspects of design build, because if you want to talk about design build in general, that's way too broad, right? So let's read the title of the 4 research topics here. The first one is team building, okay? Key factors of building a successful design build team. We spent a whole lot of time, if you remember, on the core curriculum number 2, design build, there's a whole lot of section talking about team building, successful team building, right? How does that actually help? Okay, how does that even help you to understand the team building aspects of design build is really critical for the success of design build team. Well, I wanted you to dig down a little bit, what kind of key factors may actually influence the team performance. You will say, immediately maybe somebody thought about, communication. Everyone needs to communicate. The old design build project delivery methods, it's really struggling is because part of that is actually because people don't talk to each other. But design build, you're forced to talk to each other, right? You have that kind of environment that everyone has to talk to each other. And because now we are on the same team, okay? It's no longer you or I, it's more about we. And also we're actually sharing risk, and we also share the savings or maybe even the profits we made, right? So there's a team building fact there. So I want you to do some research there. The second topic I wanted you to look at is actually the contractors' attitudes towards design build in the Central Valley specifically. As you probably realize, we don't really see a whole lot of design build projects in Central Valley. And we have so many construction companies here in Central Valley, however, right? So you probably wonder, why is that, right? What are the contractors' attitudes towards design build? If design build is such a better project delivery methods and design build, then why the contractors in Central Valley would not use them? What is the reason behind it, right? So I want you to use some, sort of like research there. And I just give you a hint on this one is this probably will need some direct contact, or maybe even, interview, or maybe survey with the local contractors. So the best methodology in this case probably could be you develop a short questionnaire and talk to contractors in town, like Harris, like Quarrying, like Viner, like the Silver Gates, those different companies. You can ask them, why do you, not use design? Maybe you can start asking, have you used design build in your projects? And, how do you like it? If you do not like it, what's the reason, right? Okay, so, and also, do you see the benefits of design build at all? And do you think design build is actually better than design build in terms of controlling your schedule? Or maybe actually, have better performance, etc. So that would be the second topic, right? Just give you some thoughts there. You don't have to follow what exactly I'm talking about, but it's more just give you some idea behind this. The third topic is trade coordination in the design build project. How does BIM impact the coordination process? This is something tied with the industry trends, because BIM has been used more and more. And in a design build project, we all understand there's so many different aspects. Everyone's working on different parts there, but they're on the same team. So in the design build projects, literally the coordination is really the key. There are so many different people working towards the same common project, and they all working on different disciplines. So when it comes to trade coordination, as a design builder, how do you actually manage the coordination process? And we know that BIM is a new technology being talked about in the industry a lot, and it's getting a lot of momentum in the industry today. Okay, so we have seen some of the functionality through our case study number 3 that BIM can actually help people to do spatial coordination, clash detection, all those good stuff, right? So what is your understanding about how BIM could potentially help the trade coordination aspect, right? So you can do some literature research, and you can find some articles that actually talk about BIM coordination and draw your own conclusion, okay? The last topic is, how does design build benefit green building design and construction? A comparison with design build. So this will be sort of like more like a case study, I would imagine, because design build, if design build has so many advantages over design build in terms of saving cost, reduce project time, reduce work errors, and help owner to control budget. And also, you would think, because of this is a team performance and everyone is working towards the common good, right? it should really improve the project quality as well. So how does actually design build could potentially help the building gets, more sustainable, right? That's the topic behind it. Okay, so those are the 4 topics there, and I just wanted to open up, your microphones and trying to see how does everyone actually sort of like understand, or maybe think about those topics. Is any one of the topics actually particularly confusing, or you do have some other thoughts there? So I'm just gonna open up the conversation here, and I would just maybe probably go through your name, because I think if I mute everyone, there's gonna be a lot of noise behind. So I'm gonna start with Austin. Austin, are you still here?
Yeah.
Okay. So do you have any questions in regard to the topics of the paper?
No. No.
Okay. So we do understand that everyone has to work with another co-author, right? So it's going to be a 2-man show, right? It's going to be a duet, okay? So you need to identify a partner and choose the topic both of you feel comfortable with. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll move on. So, Elma, any questions?
How long is it gonna be? Does it have to be?
You talk about the paper itself?
Yeah.
Okay, so I did have this comments right there. So you see there, it's between 1,000 words and 1,500 words. I don't want you to go beyond 1,500 words either, because that's going to be too much work. Okay, so 1,000 words, I would say it's approximately 4-5 pages. Okay, so that's a pretty reasonable amount in terms of an article, right? If I give you only like 500 words, you won't be able to actually do much at all with 500 words.
What about like 750?
What is that?
What about like 750?
All right, well, save that negotiation letter, okay? So shooting towards 1,000 words. How about that?
All right.
Okay. All right. So any other questions, Alma?
No.
Okay. Anthony.
Yeah.
Any questions?
Yeah, so basically it's 2 people per research paper.
Right. 2 of you going to work together on one paper. And the topic is really up to you. You can choose one out of those 4 topics. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
Any other questions?
So when you turn it in, when we turn it in with our partner, 2 people are going to turn in the same thing, or are we just going to turn it in once for both people?
Literally, you don't really have to turn in because if you create a Google Docs and invite me as part of your Google Docs, I can see your progress all the time. Okay? So what I will need is actually really just some progress report, and that will be done by any one of you. You can work as a team, and you say, 2 of us have been working on this. We have worked on the introduction part and literature review part and the methodology part. That will be a progress report. Besides, I will track your writing, along the way and see where you'll get. Okay?
Thank you.
All right. All right. Caroline, any questions?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Just want to remind everyone that, when you actually start writing, one of the things our students oftentimes struggle is they don't really know where, like, in what kind of terms or actually, tones, maybe. So what I want to emphasize is actually, if you write an article, and please maybe read at least one research article before you start writing. So that way you kind of understand what kind of language they use, okay, in the article. So I know you guys, for convenience purposes, we use a lot of text messages, right? So that text message might not be a good idea for you to actually write in the paper, okay? Just wanted to give you a heads up there. And if you do have other classes, for instance, I'm not sure how many of you have taken a writing class or actually considering taking that writing class, but that would be a good exercise, combining the efforts of the 2. You can utilize this paper probably as a, one of the writing assignments you have for the other class as well. I'm not sure exactly how that works, but definitely, take advantage of your writing class experience and apply it here. Okay?
Okay.
All right, Christian.
Nope. I don't have any questions.
Okay. And Christian iPads. Okay. Any questions?
I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. All right. David? David here? Well, I don't really see. He's online, but I'm not sure. Didn't hear from him. Is David here? Probably walked away. All right, move on. Dylan. Any question, Dylan?
Since this is a co-author writing thing, if we happen to be unable to find a partner, will you be matching us up?
That's what I'm saying. When you actually set up the form, right, you put your name down, you put your co-author's name down, and at the same time, your co-author is going to put your name down. So that's how I match you guys up. Make sense?
Yeah, but what if we are unable to find a different...
Oh, okay. So if you are unable to find anyone, in that case, please probably choose a topic and email me, and under the co-author's name says, I cannot find one. So that way I know you are looking for a partner. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay.
And how many, is there a minimum amount of references that you would want for this?
Yes, a good question. Thank you for bringing that up. I said a minimum of 5 references are required for this paper. Okay, 5 references. So that's basically you need to read maybe 5 different pieces of other people's work, right?
Okay.
Okay, so it's not really that many. As you see there, we oftentimes sort of like reference quite a bit. This one I have, I don't know, maybe probably more than 20. It's approximately 20. Some articles we write, when we actually write review articles, we have maybe hundreds of references, okay? So, but I don't really want to scare you guys, so 5 will be like a minimum, okay? So your format is just like this. You'll put reference, says references here, and then just put your reference one by one in alphabetical order, okay? Very good question. Any other questions?
Nope, that's good for me.
Okay. Guillermo, question.
Do you want like a certain style for the references, like an APA style or something?
That's another great question. I'm glad you actually guys are asking for that. Okay, so the reference style, as you see here, we did follow certain formats, right? Like the author's name and the year and the title of the paper and the journal and whatever, right? So what I would recommend you guys is follow one style throughout. One of the examples I can give you guys probably you will search for, because we are in the construction engineering side. I would say ASCE reference format will be the best. Let me actually attach this documents here for you guys so you can actually see that, okay? So here is a link to the ASCE citation style guide. Let me actually go ahead and actually, attach this documents here as a reference material so you can actually look at that. But thanks very much for bringing that up, okay?
All right.
Any other question for you?
No, that's all. Thank you.
Okay. Jacinto, questions?
No questions, Dr. Wu.
Okay. Jose, questions?
Yeah, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Joe, question?
No, I'm good.
Okay. And Luis?
No questions.
Okay. And Steven?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. Steven, if you got time, could you please stop by tomorrow morning during my office hour?
Yeah, no problem. I was going to try to do that tomorrow.
Okay. Sounds good. Thanks. Tarek, questions?
No, yeah, that's good.
Okay. So just went over everyone. Now, before I let you guys go, I want to quickly go to the Google Drive and sort of like, just in case, I'm pretty confident that everyone in this class should have already used Google Docs before for multiple purposes, right? But if you go ahead and create a paper, a Google Docs, right, and it says, this is my term research paper, right? And a topic 1, you say just topic 1, whatever it is, okay? And you will share this document with somebody you identify as a co-author. And most importantly, please add me, okay? If you type my name, you should see this email address there. Please use my mail.fresnostate.edu. I probably maybe just add that email address in the Blackboard as well. So that way, when actually you are typing, you are working on the document, on the paper, you can actually see my comments. I can actually comment on your stuff. If I notice there's a concept that I can sort of like help you to find a reference, I'll just say, hey, maybe you want to check out this article out, that type of thing. Okay, so that way we have some continuous conversation, and we do have some planned progress report, which is here. Okay, I was saying that there'll be a progress report scheduled on May the 1st, and the final due date is actually May the 10th. Okay, we don't really have a whole lot of time, but we do have some time. For 1,000 words over 3 weeks, I think you can work on 300 words each week. I think that's totally reasonable, okay? And besides, just split between the two of you, right? So literally it's about 150 words-ish per student. So I truthfully think that's something really quite, feasible. But if you do have questions in terms of understanding exactly what I'm looking for, please don't hesitate to schedule a meeting with me, and either through Zoom or actually maybe just stop by my office hours. Either way, okay? And also, what I wanted to mention is it's towards the end of the semester. If you find out, okay, the Grader Center is actually have all the grades posted already, except for the case study number 3, which I will upload as soon as I can. If you notice you are missing certain grades that you expect to receive grades, let me know. Or you find out you by mistake, I just overlooked some assignments, I forgot to do something, and I will have a late submission makeup policy there. You would not get full credits, but it will be actually better than nothing. Okay, so talk to me as well. All right. Other than that, what we have for the rest of the semester, if I want to show you this little syllabus schedule here. So we will have another session scheduled on Wednesday, April 26th. Okay, just trying to talk a little about methods. I want to talk about methods by then. And the reason being for that is actually I want to make sure that everyone's using some sort of methods. When I say methods, is a way for you to actually conduct the research. You can either talk to people, interview people, you can use surveys, you can actually go dig out the publications that have already been published so far and draw a conclusion on top of that. Or you're saying that I can actually do statistical analysis type of thing, okay? So that would be something we're going to have a live session on, okay? Other than that, we're going to meet for the last time, okay, through Zoom Live on May the 10th. That's when you submit your actual paper. And we're going to have some, final reflection together as a semester, end of semester, wrap up this online class, which is really literally the first online class anyway, okay? So put those dates on your calendar. I will send out reminders ahead of time as well. Other than that, any other questions? I open up everyone. Just any question, please raise your hand and let me know if you have any questions. Okay. If not, then we'll wish everyone, work towards the end of semester, finish strong. And if you have any questions, stop by our office and or email me anytime. Okay, Slack, right? Don't forget that little tool is actually really helpful. I'm glad actually everyone is trying to use Slack. That's really, really convenient. It helps me and it helps you, hopefully. Okay. All right. If there's no other business, I will say the meeting is adjourned, and go back to work, and I'll see you guys on campus. Okay?
All right. Thanks, Dr. Wu.
All right. Thank you.
Jose, turn on. Ready for the term paper?